here, time to get busy living. Get up. You are still here, time to get busy living. Get up. You are still here, time to get busy living. Get up. You are still here, time to get busy living.
Okay then.
Get up.
It's time to rise.
Time to get busy living. Get up. You
Oh
are
yeah.
still here, time to get busy living. Get up. You are still here, time to get busy living.
And as you rise in time this morning in the capital city of Alabama, the temperature outside, believe it or not, it's 78 degrees. Really? Is that outside already? It feels like 80. Yeah, I was out there in that sun yesterday. It's kind of tough on the brother. But I handled it. I just reached back to my inner soul and said, okay, you got to be out here. Got to get it done. You got to get it done. So get it done. Okay, let me compose myself. Got down. Okay, they said 79 degrees outside now. It went up 1 degree. Although I must tell you, there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing unusual about having hot weather in the summer. I mean, that's why it's called hot weather. I mean, we got 4 seasons, right? Winter, spring, summer, and fall, and so it's always going to be kind of hot in the summertime. I mean, we act like, oh Lord, it's hot outside. Well, you know, if this was winter time and it was this hot, I mean, you know, I kind of agree with you, but it's hot all the time in the summer. I'm just saying, you know. Well, good morning to you. This is Decision. Why do we call it that? Because everything we do requires us to make one. And even when we decide not to make one, well, we just made one. But you can't get around it. You can't go under it. You can't go over it. You can't even go through it. Life is a collection of decisions. Be careful with the ones you make. Good morning to you. The clock on the wall says it's 7:10 in the morning, 79 degrees outside this morning. Today's forecast, a 20% chance of precipitation, whatever that means. Sunshine with a few afternoon clouds, maybe a stray shower or two or thunderstorm is possible. Unlikely, but possible. High today, 98 degrees. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. On tonight, a 46% chance of rain or something. Showers in the evening, mostly cloudy conditions overnight, low 74 degrees. On tomorrow, the good Lord says the same, and you should see it, a 9% chance of precipitation. Sun, a little sun coming out, a few passing clouds. But other than that, it's going to be hot like it's been lately. That's just what happens. I mean, it gets hot in the summertime. Nothing we can do about it. I'm glad it does. At least I can tell. That's why I didn't like living in Honolulu. Honolulu, it was always great weather. I hate it. Give me a little heat, a little cold, a little rain, a little thunder. You know, I want the old mixture of the whole thing. Okay, that's one reason why I left Hawaii. I got tired of perfect weather and aloha shirts. I'm trying to tell you. All right then. Anyway, good morning to you. Next up, of course, it is our daily bread. A word from on high. Something that will change your perspective or give you a new one. But either way, it's good for the soul. And just in case you don't realize it, you're on top of the ground and the ground's not on top of you. I'd say that's something to be thankful for this morning. So the first thing you say is thank God for this day. Because believe it or not, last night, somebody went to bed and didn't get up this morning. For all those that did, we all gotta thank you. It certainly did not have to be. Good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine, our daily bread, and we'll be back with the other things that we talk about around here in the morning. I got one more rule change today. I got one more rule change this morning. Nothing big. It's a small one. That's all, just a small one. We'll be back.
Every moment filled with your warm embrace.
What comes to your mind when you think about heaven? Hi, and thanks for joining us for today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional. Today's reading was written by Esther Pirosca Escobar and is titled, Our New Home. As the first immigrant to the U.S. to pass through Ellis Island in 1892, Annie Moore must have felt incredible excitement at the thought of a new home and a fresh start. Millions would pass through there afterward. Just a teenager, Annie had left behind a difficult life in Ireland to start a new one. Carrying only a little bag in her hand, she came with lots of dreams, hopes, and expectations of a land of opportunity. How much more excitement and awe will God's children experience when we see a new heaven and a new earth? We will enter what the book of Revelation calls the Holy City, the New Jerusalem. The Apostle John describes this amazing place with powerful imagery. There will be the river of the water of life, as clear as crystal, flowing from the throne of God and of the Lamb. Water represents life and abundance, and its source will be the eternal God Himself. John says that no longer will there be any curse. The beautiful, pure relationship God intended between Himself and humans will be fully restored. How incredible to know that God, who loves His children and purchased us with the life of His Son, is preparing such an amazing new home where He Himself will live with us and be our God. Today's Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Revelation chapter 22, verses 1 through 5. Then the angel showed me the river of the water of life, as clear as crystal, flowing from the throne of God and of the Lamb down the middle of the great street of the city. On each side of the river stood the tree of life, bearing 12 crops of fruit, yielding its fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nations. No longer will there be any curse. The throne of God and of the Lamb will be in the city, and His servants will serve Him. They will see His face, and His name will be on their foreheads. There will be no more night. They will not need the light of a lamp or the light of the sun, for the Lord God will give them light, and they will reign forever and ever. Let's pray. Father, thank You for Your love and for the anticipation of spending eternity with You. We're excited as we wait for that day when we will live in peace with You and each other in heaven. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Okay, then. All right, we're here. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That we good. We are good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have a surprise for you today. Okay, I just text the mayor. Okay, I'll just text the mayor. Told him to tune in because I'm going to do a conversation today with the people of Montgomery about this $375 million bond issue. So if you have friends or anybody that's for it or against it, I would love some input from you guys today because there's a lot of conversation going around, but I don't know how much of it is correct, incorrect, hyperbole, because we just don't know. So here's the question of the morning before I get started on anything. You can either write on our writing board, or you could call in, or if you would love to. Now, if you would like to, I would bring you into the studio, our virtual studio, and see, and you can join us live on air, just like WSFA, of how to. Well, you could join us live on the air and have the conversation with us, with me, because it certainly is a hot topic today. It is a hot topic that lots of people, those that know a little bit and those that don't, are discussing today. And I'm going to put a thing on my Facebook page that says StreamYard, and it allows you to come in and just into the studio, and people can see you. You can make your case, yay or nay, depending on where you sit at this. So here's because a lot of us think we know things, and we don't. So what we do is, and when I say we, I mean we. I'm not absolved from making decisions based on impulse at times also. But there's a lot of conversation going on, and both sides make sense. Both sides make sense on this $375 million bond. Both sides make sense. The other night, I had an opportunity to talk to multiple city council people on this particular issue, and I will tell you, it is. I haven't seen many things divide us. We didn't have this much discussion when they forgot to put up the Memorial Day flag when the mayor first got in. He's learned since then, though, and the Memorial Day flag is always up now, so we appreciate that. I spanked him a little bit, verbally, not physically, but verbally. The LGBTQ flag should never go up, and our flag doesn't go up to honor our dead and our war dead and our people who paid the ultimate sacrifice. So I think we learned from that. That's called a learning. That was teaching moment. But so on my Facebook page, you will see. You will hold. Let me show it to you. I'll show you what it is right there. Okay. Right. You see that right there? That page right there. If you click on that page, that will actually bring you into my virtual studio, free of charge. You don't get charged. You get to play guests for a moment on this issue of the $375 million bond issue. Because I really, we really need to have an intelligent conversation about it because everybody is going to be affected no matter what they decide to do. Everybody, and I think the next time this is coming up, it's going to be October. And by October, there will be, well, we got October the 13th. If nobody wins right out, which it's going to be hard to see, it's going to be hard to see if somebody can win right out with 14 people running in District 3. But I do know in October, there will be a runoff. There's probably October the 13th, I think, is the runoff day. So somebody is going to decide what we do about this. Are you convinced that Montgomery needs to invest in Montgomery? No more white water, no more white water things. So we I think we figured out that we ain't getting all that water. However, one of the things I will love them to do as a candidate is figure out a way to turn white water, whatever they call it, into a park that everybody on hot days like this can go out there and enjoy themselves. Okay, that's one of the things that we need. Listen, let's cut our losses. It was a great idea. But just I got to keep it real here. Black folks are not going to get out there and get on that water, talk about rafting and all. That ain't going to happen. Montgomery is predominantly a black city. And when you build things in a community, you have to take in culture. You have good, bad, and indifferent sometimes, but you gotta, I mean, I'm not climbing mountains. I lived in Washington State. Love Mount Rainier, beautiful place, but I wouldn't climb in Mount Rainier. So no sense putting a bus down there telling me you want to take a ride up the hill. No, I'm not going. Mount Rainier is probably one of the prettiest places that you ever want a backdrop. When we used to come in and jump in, and you talking about something that looked good. Now they don't know all the hell we was going through with all that weight on our backs, but if you took the picture of us coming home and parachuting into Fort Lewis, we was a mean mama jamma. I mean, we look good coming out. I'll show you a picture of that sooner or later, but we look good. But I don't. That ain't something I normally do. Care about a mountain with snow on it. It was just too cold to go up there for me. But culture should be taken into account. And so what do we do to make Montgomery different? We do need to figure out a way that my son's 20. He'll be 20 in a couple of weeks in October. Now he don't really like doing a whole lot of things yet, but it will come about that he'll want to do things. The other day between the Usher and Chris Brown was in Birmingham. Now I think there was some intellectual dishonesty going on with what happened in Birmingham. Okay, and let me put this in a way that's understandable. Yes, a lot of people went to see him. No lie. Some people paid $200, $300 to go to see him. Yeah, they did. But did Hoover, I think that's Hoover where they actually went, or Bessemer, one of the places. How much did they make out of this? See, businesses made money and they pinched government off of their piece, but was the benefit that great that they'd want to do it every weekend? I don't think so. I don't think so. The one thing I did like about Emery Farmer didn't want any kind of business coming to Montgomery. And I thanked him for that because we don't need to be is another town with all kind of problems. And we got enough problems as it is. So what say you? You can chime in with our if you click on that StreamYard sign on my Facebook page, you can come into the studio, be a guest, and discuss it. Or you can write it in our comment section or you can you can call the show. Uh, either way, let me see if I can stop this for a second here. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, let me see. Hold on for a second. Hold on for one. Hold on for 1 second. Okay, just give me a couple minutes for you call back. Hold on for 1 second here. I had to change the thing there. So I realize there are prejudices in Montgomery, Alabama. It is just part of the fabric of this city, the history of this city. There are prejudices. I have my own. You have your own, and most of us are biased. We're biased to our own ideas, our own ideology. All of us are, because if we weren't, we wouldn't we wouldn't have an opinion about things. So now the mayor's listening this morning, trying to get a the energy of people in the city of Montgomery, and this is one way to judge that. Yes,
How does prejudice get into whether or not you're going to borrow $375 million?
because that prejudice comes with a lot of baggage in the history of
Well,
Montgomery.
if it's prejudice, then it's already a done deal. The city's predominantly black, right?
Yeah, that's true.
If it's predominantly black and it's prejudice, the white people voting against, blacks voting for
I
it.
don't.
It's a
I
done
don't.
deal. We got it, right?
No.
Hey, let me move on. Willie says $240 million for a high school in Auburn. Yeah, high school, Willie, not a rap center.
Well,
And
you know,
congratulations on your son surviving, huh?
why do you call it a rap center? That's derogatory.
Because what else is going to be down
But
there?
you don't.
What's going to bring a crowd?
It is going.
What
to
are you going to present down there
Well,
that's
give
going to
us.
bring a crowd?
Well, give us an opportunity to.
And how
get
much is it
in
going
here.
to cost to keep it open like
Again,
Whitewater? Whitewater's costing us $2
Well,
million a
Whitewater-
year plus all the payback just to
Whitewater.
keep the thing open.
Whitewater was kind of a mistake because we just don't get out now that
It
water.
wasn't no kind of mistake.
Well, whatever. But I think
And the mayor don't even know how much it's going to cost. Where did the $200 million come
the
from?
intention of Whitewater was.
Where did the $200 million come from?
Okay. Again,
Are they playing for it or
so can I assume you're not for it?
no? Let me do one last thing. I think this would be good for your audience. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they'll call in and comment. Since you like to call me a liar when you hang up, you pick a day and I'll bring the $1,000 while you're on the air up there, and you show everybody right in front of God and everybody your proof that you jumped out of a plane. Now it has to be an official document, preferably your DD-214,
Who
not something you pulled up on the internet
but
and
who
printed
made
your
you
name on.
wait a minute, but who made you the author of
No, nobody made me anything. I just said that's an idea.
you know
Maybe your
there
people
are,
could comment on it. Yeah, I say, give me a date. I'll bring the 1,000 up there in front of God and everybody. You show your proof. If you don't like the idea, just say you won't do it because you know what you are.
well
Now,
again
maybe people could call in or say that they think that's a good idea, and you won't have to hang up
Hey,
and
let me ask
call
you a
me a
question.
liar
let
like
me ask
you
you a
do.
question. Let
Because
me
you ain't got the guts to call me a liar in front of my face or anything.
well, you're too old to be whooping to be fighting with me anyway. So
Yeah, I'm 76, and
Yeah,
I can guarantee
I
you
know.
can't whoop my ass.
okay, whatever turns you on.
But
Why
give us a
is it-
date. I'll show up there with $1,000 while we're on air,
Let me
and
ask you
you'll prove it.
what
So just reply to what I just said. I'll bring $1,000 while you up there on the air, and Willie Durham knows I'll bring the $1,000, and you prove that you jumped out of a plane, right front. But maybe people will comment if they want to see that.
Okay, yeah, let them comment. Okay, yeah. Woo. Okay then. I still don't figure out why my airborne status is any concern of his anyway. I just like talking about it sometimes because there are not too many men have done it. Okay, a lot of people have, but not too many men in the army in the armed forces of the United States, that is a special group of men. And then you even go a little higher. But I don't want to get into that right now. What I want to get into is this thing right here. Now, and I'm going to tell you something, Don, just for you, and I don't have a problem with it. You know, I showed the paperwork years ago, and you just it didn't come from. I called Fort Benning. It's not on my DD Form 214 because for some reason, when my DD Form 214 was made, which I didn't know they make them local. They just didn't have all the information they need. There are awards that I don't even want to talk to you. I don't even want to talk to you, but I'm gonna talk to you because it's totally a waste of time. Good morning, Simple Days.
Good morning, prospective new council member heading that way.
Perspective, yes, perspective. So, what are your thoughts on the $375 million thing that the mayor wants, and be reasonable about your agreement or your disagreement with him on this? Do we invest in Montgomery, or do we allow every city around us to move on and we don't?
Well, I'm all for growth. I'm all for getting the city, where it can compete with other cities and all that stuff. But I mean, just like up in a little town up in North Alabama called Arab, they just had a great big bond to build a new public high school.
I saw that. Mm-hmm.
You saw that?
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
I just think that sometimes we get the need put on the back burner and the want becomes to the front. And, I would me personally, I think that you could take maybe half that money and refurbish the Coliseum.
And what if taking half that money to refurbish the Coliseum, which that has privately, some people who work at the place have talked to me and said the toughest thing it needs right now is about $6 million air conditioning system put in it and the work for that. The question is, that building is about 70 years old from what I understand. Is it worth the investment? That's just the air conditioning is $6 million.
Well, 300. What's the number you put out there? You said you wanted me to conjure about.
Well, it's $375 million that they want to borrow from the bond market.
And I guarantee you, just like the Whitewater Park, just like that prison up there, they're gonna give you one number now, and as time goes on and things are subject to change and prices go up and all that stuff, that's gonna be like more 400.
And
but anyway,
that has bothered me also because they never seem to stick with the price that they start with. Yeah, and
no, but because that's what politicians do. They say this and they move the P under the shells, and they try to get your eye off of it. And like the former Strange mayor used to say, well, $1 million here and $1 million there. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is it's not your money; it's the taxpayers' money, and somebody's going to pay for it down the road. Grandchildren, people going to have to pay for that thing, and there's no way the government doesn't produce product. The only thing they can do is raise taxes, and just like the federal income tax, when they started it back there in 1913, whatever year it was. It never stops.
But do we want? And again, I'm merely putting the questions out. I think it needs some public conversation. do we want to invest in a 70-year-old building? Even though I do like the Coliseum, but do we want to invest in that, which may turn out to be cost you more than and all of the 200 and the 200 and 375 million dollars all is not going for all that's not going for the center, for the auditorium. I mean, for the civic center. Would you agree? We need a civic center. No?
Well, yeah, but are people coming to Montgomery now? Are people coming to Montgomery now?
Well,
and going to attending conferences and
if they did, where would they? If they did, where would they go? Now they can live in Prattville, give Prattville the money, and come to Montgomery 13 miles down the road to have their meeting. That's true. But again, why wouldn't we want? We're already getting screwed, glued, and tattooed by the occupational tax all around us, and we can't seem to do it. And 10,000 people or more come to Montgomery every day to work.
Well, Prattville's got a golf course up there that people go to that we don't have.
We got a golf course. Don't we got one over there in Lagoon Park?
No, we don't have a Robert Trent Jones golf course.
Okay, well, they paid a pretty penny for Robert Trent Jones up there in Prattville too.
Oh yeah, and you see that shopping. Have you ever been up at a Prattville, Mayor, and seen that shopping center sitting up on the hill that's pretty well vacant?
Yeah, that was Byard's. That's one of Byard's legacy. But again.
But see, there's a perfect example, Mayor, of when you let a politician, not a contractor, not somebody that knows what they're doing, not the private sector, but a politician saying, this is my baby, this is going to be my legacy, this is going to be my project, and then
but
it doesn't turn out.
Right, but let's get back to the basic fundamental question here. Do we invest in the future of Montgomery? Because there ain't but two things going to happen. We're either going to prosper or we're going to go down the drain.
You got an old police department sitting down there.
Right.
It's got holes all drilled in it.
Right.
That they've expanded it. That needs to be replaced.
Well, that's what some of this money's for. That's what they say some of the money's for.
Yeah. To rebuild the police department.
Well, I know what they meant. The police department has come up on multiple occasions saying that it's old and we got things in the building that need to be done. I don't know why we can't make the police department the Crump Center. I mean, that ain't that many old people going down there. We can go to church or something. Why can't we just move it to the Crump Center on Federal Drive?
Well, when that police department built, it was built back in the day when the center of Montgomery was at a different point. Now, center of Montgomery somewhere out there at Vaughn and the Boulevard, somewhere like that.
East Chase. So.
Yeah, the center of Montgomery is drastically moved. But all I'm saying, and I when I was in the Kiwanis, we used to have work details on Saturdays, and we go out there and paint and clean up the Coliseum and get it ready, especially for the fair. The building is structurally sound. It will be there when we're long gone. And it's like one of these older schools that they refurbish, like they did down there on Union Street, in the
But you got young people now. But you got young people now who are using AI and all kinds of things, and they look at things with modern eyes, and they'll look at that building on the Coliseum and say, "Yuck!" It's past its prime.
I'm telling you right now, you can paint it, and we can follow the mayor's lead on this. We can paint it the rainbow colors, and all the young people will come to it. They don't care. It's just like you don't care what the restaurant looks like as long as the food's good. They will come if you bring the right acts and stuff in there. But I guarantee you, I know that for a fact.
Okay, so your opinion this morning would be refurbished, redefine the Coliseum and repurpose it as a civic center.
Right.
Okay.
Is a regional. you know, the fair and everything else has gone out there. That's once you refurbish it, once you relay a floor in there and all that stuff, for the money you're going to spend, and you don't know what the extended costs are going to be, because they can't really project that, just like they couldn't with that Whitewater Park, like they can't with that prison.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Hey, before I get off here, yesterday the insurance salesman in Duke were talking about the man who jumped off the ship, abandoned ship, dereliction of duty, whatever you want to call it. I just wonder if President Biden was in office and he did that, how quickly they would bring that to our attention. And also, don't you remember during COVID when they were making all of the military people take shots?
As a matter of fact, they made I think they made a mistake in that area. Matter of fact, one warrant officer had just got they just brought him back to service and paid him all back pay. However, I didn't agree with the warrant officer or anybody else then. I took a bunch of shots when I joined the military, and anybody has, and they didn't ask me. They said, "Hey, take this." So we took that. So I didn't agree. I think when you command in chief gives you an order, you follow it. Long as that order is not injurious to you, or immoral or illegal. And we all took shots when we joined, a bunch of them. And I just think you kind of wimped out on that one. But there were some people.
But they didn't have a problem with those folks. You know, the problem was, well, you're supposed to do what the president tells you to, and some of them resign, some of them,
right.
You know, but you're supposed to. That was their logic. Then you're supposed to do what the president tells you to, and just like Obama said about they're the junior varsity. They're not really a threat. They're the junior varsity. Well, politicians sometimes either get it right or they get it wrong. But you're not supposed to follow the politician. You're supposed to follow who?
Well, your own beliefs, your own philosophy. But again,
the orders that you're given.
Right. Well, in the military, well, absolutely. In the military, yeah, absolutely. But now, you can disobey them if you feel it is either immoral or illegal. The caveat here, boy, you better be right, because if you're wrong, you finna have a hard day. But
if it's a hardship, it's a hardship is what they're trying to say. It's on them. But you ever heard those sayings? Only the strong survive.
That's what they say.
And when the going gets tough, who gets going?
The tough get going.
And what you say about quitting, winners never quit and quitters never win.
Ain't that
so right in the middle of the battle, are you gonna have people, because it becomes easy once you start.
Okay. But to get back to my main point, your vote would be no for the $375 million.
Yes, and I'd say hell no until they lay down some nuts and bolts of it, because we don't. There's a lot of, like you said, what you don't know. There's a lot of unknowns about that. Who the contract, who the bids are going to, who the middleman is, where the money's going to go.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, let me take.
All right, have a good day.
Appreciate it. I don't. Again, that's why the conversation. Initially, get back to something else here. Good morning, Top.
Good morning, Sergeant Elkins.
Good morning.
A couple of things I wanted to share with you. First, I'm for it. I just say that up front, okay?
Okay.
some of this stuff is generational. I mean, most of your callers that I've heard this morning are all 70 or right there at.
Yeah.
So they see things differently. When you said that the concert in Birmingham, you say you doubt if Hoover would want to do that again.
Well, I said they don't make all the money that was made. The city didn't. I mean, they got some residual.
Kevin,
Mhm.
The concert was 2 days. I mean, several thousand of people for 2 nights.
Right.
Hotel, lodging tax, gas tax, restaurants. Those businesses generated money. It's like having the Air Force Conference come to Montgomery. They're coming to town next week.
But
Do you think Montgomery benefits when the Air Force Technology Center comes here for 4 days, the conference?
I think they do, but I think they end up getting about 3%. 3% of the total gross of the money that's spent.
So you think Montgomery doesn't benefit from having the Air Force Technology Conference here? You say 3%?
Of course you do, but
you made it sound like 3% is, and I don't know if that number is accurate, but what's 3% of 8 million or 10 million?
Well, again, though, it's not like the whole 10 million coming to the city. I mean,
no, but again, the conference generate money for the city coffers.
Right. So the tickets, but I don't want to be charged. Right.
So you think because the percentage may be, if the hotel room's $100 a night, the city's not getting $100, but they may be getting 8% for lodging fees.
I thought the lodging fee was 2%.
I'm just using that as an example. Yeah. Nobody's getting the whole amount.
Right. Again,
but
just having a conversation.
But again,
I don't,
So again, I want to go back to this generational thing.
Okay.
When you're talking about retrofitting the Coliseum, a 70-year-old building, retrofitting that.
I don't think young folks would take to that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
Kevin, I don't know how many conferences you attend out of the state and go to different conferences. Yeah. When you go to these convention centers, they're not civic centers.
How about zero?
Okay. So when you use that term of civic centers, you're dating yourself right there.
Okay.
These are new flex buildings. You know what a flex building is?
Well, I would imagine for multiple uses.
Right.
Like the Metro.
So you could have a concert, you could have a soccer game, you can have a convention with it all retrofitted for different events. It's flex. You can't take a 70-year-old building. Kevin, you go to these conferences, they got LED screens, they got technology, the seats, the flooring, the restaurants, the concessions. The money you will spend trying to retrofitting the Coliseum, you're going to spend that. You got to envision something different than what we have now.
And
when I go to these conventions,
I'm trying to get to that point where we can hold on to the past for just so long.
Man, these people that are coming here next week are technology people coming into a city that hasn't embraced technology. They're coming here with all the futuristic stuff, looking at Montgomery like, you got to be kidding me.
And again, listen. That's why the conversation this morning, because so it's 1 for and 1 against.
But you got to envision past. It's almost like old deacons in the church arguing about who's going to get the key when young folks are saying we need keyless entries. we're swiping now.
Yeah.
And you're talking about who got the key to the building. Move past who got keys, man. We keyless entry.
Is there, and again, I'm just putting the question out there philosophically, is there any positive in keeping in touch with the past?
All right, I'm going to just tell you 2 things. I'm going to hop off. Macon, Georgia. You know where Macon, Georgia is at?
Well, I know on the map where it's at.
Warner Robins, Macon, small town. They just did a $1 billion bond. $1 billion with the B. Huntsville, the Braun Center. You know the Braun Center is in Huntsville?
No.
$200 million expansion. Auburn High School, $241 million.
But aren't they
People around us are
well, that's true. But aren't those people? And I don't really know what their ability to pay back these loans are, or are we never going to pay them back, and we're just going to be paying them in perpetuity?
Well, you can say that, Kevin. You can say anytime anybody expands the ability to repay. But what I'm telling you is, there's a time right now. I'm gonna close with this. The president said something that was interesting. He said they've been wanting to put a ball wound in Washington for a long time. They've been entertaining dignitaries in a tent, women walking in the heels and the mud. He built in a ballroom because he saw a need. That now he went about it the wrong way without getting the Congress and the archives people, but he saw a need for a ballroom, and that cost has expanded. First, he said the donors was going to buy it, but we don't believe we should be entertaining dignitaries from other countries in a tent. He said, drones and safety issues and all kind of stuff, but he needed a ballroom in D.C.
Yeah, I agreed with him.
So Montgomery needs a convention flex center.
Okay, well, maybe it's that word convention that again,
it's not a rap center,
right? I know.
It's a flex center that could entertain. Now, when the Chamber of Commerce got convention and tourism, they go around the country and they attend different conferences to try to recruit things to come here. I remember one time they bought the Horseshoe tournament here, and people think horseshoes, man, those people that come here and stay in our hotel and do the Horseshoe tournament put heads in beds. They support small businesses. They're getting gas here. They're coming to the airport. That's a horseshoe tournament. Yeah. When they go out and say, Kevin, we want to bring your whatever you're into conference here, the Southern Baptist Convention. These people can come here and be in our whatever you want to bring, the national fraternity, the sorority, the insurance professionals of the world. Mm-hmm. We can't host any of those because we don't have the facilities.
Okay.
And at the same time, we can be having a soccer tournament. And they bought the soccer thing to Auburn because that's the closest place that could hold it. But if Montgomery had something like that,
right,
you could have saw Messi here in Montgomery. So we got to start thinking beyond a rap center or redoing a 70-year-old building. And think about what Z would want for his generation.
Mm. Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Now, Greg, I need you to call, Greg. You make a lot of incendiary statements, but I need to have the conversation with you. The phone number, please. I thought I knew the phone number. Okay, 521-2963. Again, I did call the mayor's office this morning and told them to listen and let's get a pulse of Montgomery, at least my part of it, about the $375 million. I just want to hear some reasonable conversation about yay and nay, and don't just say no. No, okay, Greg is his own. But call me. Listen. It deserves conversation. No is too easy to say. No is what cowards use sometimes, rather than to me why. Okay, why is it a no for you? Morning, bud.
Good morning, Kevin. How you doing today, sir?
Pretty good.
How's that campaigning going?
Oh, we're making some headway. We're making some headway, There's going to be a runoff with 14 people for sure, unless I just steal it the whole thing,
Actually, from what I understand, there will not be a runoff.
Really? Well,
yes, that's correct.
They already got the date for it.
No, not unless they changed it by the law. It's not a runoff. Now, I hope there is. I mean, I'd love to see in one of the two, but I don't think there is.
Well, I
could be wrong.
October something. It's already been set the date for the runoff if there needs to be one. So,
well, no, you're going to win it outright.
Okay, then. What's on your mind?
Let me ask you this. I've been listening to this talk about the convention center and stuff like that. And let's take a walk down memory lane. You like doing that with me, don't you?
Sure. Yeah, we stay down there often.
Yeah. Do you remember hear people talking about needing to spend 200 million plus on the convention center. And I've been reading some of your comments talking about Whitewater. Do you remember how much money was spent on the Whitewater project?
Well, sure. More than he had told us.
$90 million.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, it was first voted on and approved by the Montgomery City Council in 2019
Mm-hmm.
when Mayor Reed was mayor. Now, I'm not saying that study was not done before, research studies that should it be done, et cetera. That happened under Strange, but it was approved, first of all, in 2019. And then again, supplemental funding by the City Council in 2021. Now, from their very own numbers that's available to the public, do you know how many people the Montgomery Whitewater averages per day since they have been open in attendance?
Well, I know not very many.
9 people a day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Montgomery spends $90 million and they get 9 people going to an event. Let's look at, 17 Springs, I think's the name, in Millbrook.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been by that location?
No, I haven't, but I have been
You need to.
pictures of it and things of that nature, and it looks like a great.
They spent $90 million on that.
And again, listen, I think the idea was a great idea, but the culture of Montgomery, just not. Montgomery's predominantly a black city for the most part.
Okay.
And
So let me ask you this.
yeah, it was a great idea.
I was trying to build up to this.
Yeah.
When we see the incompetence of the Montgomery City Council, the Montgomery Mayor, the Montgomery County Commission, when they can throw $90 million up a hog's ass and they literally get 9 people a day for that $9 million,
But did you?
why would we think that Montgomery needs to spend $200 million on a convention center?
Well, it's not. Well, and I hear what you're saying, but again, no is the shelter of cowards sometimes. First of all, let's. That's why we're having this conversation this morning, because I think the Whitewater Center was a great idea. Bad timing. Great idea.
No, Kevin, it's not a bad timing because you understand nationwide there were 3 similar projects of Whitewater. All 3 of them went bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
And not only did they go bankrupt, we actually hired the general manager of one of the bankrupted companies.
Yeah.
And then made them the general manager of Montgomery.
Listen, but let me ask something. Do human beings have the right to make a mistake?
They sure do, but not a $90 million mistake of taxpayer money.
Okay, but listen. Sometimes, I made a big mistake with Cumulus, not putting any money in the thing because I didn't realize how stupid I was. And I didn't do it. And
let me ask you this: what else could have been done with that $90 million for Montgomery?
And I guarantee you, we'd have been complaining about whatever was done with it.
We wouldn't have been complaining about 9 people showing up to a Whitewater event. Think about this. What could have been done in the community centers?
Yeah.
What could have been done for the homeless?
Mm-hmm.
What could have been done for indigent? What could have been done for seniors? What could have been done for paving of roads?
Mm-hmm.
What could have been done for hiring of officers?
Mm-hmm.
What could have been done for firefighters? What could have been done for ambulance?
Wait a minute.
What could have been done for hospitals?
Hiring of officers is a fact of not having people who want to do the job, not having the money, not to pay them.
No, it's not a matter of that. Do you understand currently in the Montgomery City budget, they already have allocated the salaries for 400 police officers.
That's right. And I asked them.
We have police officers leaving and taking a pay cut to get the hell out of Montgomery.
Yeah, but it wasn't money. It was other. It was cultural issues, I believe.
It was society.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Cultural issues and philosophical issues.
So maybe that $90 million for Whitewater could have been used already to take care of the cultural issues or societal issues in Montgomery. Mm-hmm. And now we want to ask for the city of Montgomery to pony up $370 million. Well, $200 million for a damn convention center.
Well,
what can that $200 million be done to take care of the culture?
Do you agree with the last caller, with the first sergeant there, that maybe us older folks are thinking old, and young folks are the ones who got to pay the bill anyway. So shouldn't they have a say in something that they want?
Kevin, did you know Montgomery is the only large city, the top 5 city in the state, that's having a decrease in population, net population? Why is that? Because it's so freaking dangerous. The education system sucks. Public services suck. So you tell me how $370 million in taxpayers is going to have to turn around a net loss in population. It has nothing to do with services for young people. Why did me and the wife move out almost 3 years ago?
Well, now
because the city is so fucking dangerous.
Right, but you moved to Wetumpka, which don't have a hell of a lot up there either. Wasn't for the Indians.
And I'm happy with that. We are happy to live in a smaller area, Kevin, because you know what? We are safe. You know, somebody got stabbed and killed in the neck last night in Fairview.
Yeah. Okay.
33 people. You got a teenager, a juvenile, that's in critical condition right now. Why? Because they were shot over the weekend. Montgomery leads the state
I agree.
in murders.
Well, let me ask you a question. Because, and I'm only putting it out there, because all we look at in this city is all we have ever looked at in this city. There's no semblance of forward movement. The buildings look old. The white buildings downtown look old. It reminds us of a time, and I got to tell you, it reminds us of a time when things weren't so great for those same people that you're talking about. And, you know, I don't like living back in the past, but there's nothing, and I think modern landscape would do a great deal to change the mental attitude of people who live here.
How is $375 million going to change 80% of blacks are born out of wedlock? Why did both your sons come up so great? And you have 2 wonderful sons because they had a father involved in their life.
But now
so how is that $375 million going to change the dynamic of the family culture?
Okay, now let me now. So you're gonna make me go.
Would you agree with that?
Would
you say that? Would you say that the institution of the black family is the single greatest problem?
It is a problem, but is it the single greatest problem? When there was
what's larger?
Okay, wait a minute. There were times in this country where, and we can poo-poo it if we want to, but I don't know if culture can be passed down through genetics or not, but you know, there was a time when a brother couldn't have a family worth crap because he wasn't allowed.
Kevin, you understand in the 60s, 80% of blacks was a man and woman married.
I hear you. I hear
so how did it go from 80% married to 20% married?
Well, again, when for some reason, a lot of women thought, and maybe they were true in their thinking, that they could not get any help if the man lived in the house. Okay.
Well, how did that work out for him?
Well, again, though, no. Who started that? Who made that?
The Democrats in the federal government. Could you remember what LBJ said? I'm going to pass this. I'm going to use the hard word. I'll have these niggers voting for the Democratic Party for the next 200 years. That's a quote from the president,
and I know
LBJ.
And I know that was the only reason why I let you say it, because he did say that. But at least that statement is attributed to him. Now, whether it's
not attributed, he said it.
Okay, I mean, again,
and that is the downfall of the black community right now, nationwide, not just Montgomery. So how is $375 million spent in Montgomery going to change that dynamic?
If you were to tell me that the lack of black dads, in our homes it has contributed tremendously to the social construction or the reconstruction, however you want to put it, of the black community, I would totally, absolutely agree with you.
And also for the white and the Hispanic community, completely.
So
it's across racial lines.
Right. So how do we fix that? I think you fix some of it by giving people hope, by letting them know that going to school, they can still get a job. They won't let people come in here who don't have the education, don't have the ability, because everybody's not going to be top tier. There's going to be people.
And how does a $200 million additional convention center do that?
Well, in the scheme of things, $200 million ain't very much money.
How does that change the dynamic in Montgomery?
Well,
It won't.
let me ask you something. You ever got a haircut?
No, I'm bald actually.
Yeah, you
But
are.
yeah, I have it when I was younger. But yeah,
And when you got a haircut, and you looked in that mirror, the first thing you said was, "Hey, that looks pretty good." Change your
no,
whole,
I would
change
say
your whole
that ass
attitude.
looks sexy, but I'd be lying.
Right, but change your whole attitude. So, optimism can change many things. What we see every day can change things. Listen. This won't change for the crook out there. That's a crook. But
And is that not the problem?
yeah. But there's no
The
one.
thugs.
Yeah, there's no one. There's no one answer to this
How
problem.
about is 375 million an answer?
I
Please tell me how spending that money
again, I'm
will
asking
change the
question.
dynamic of blacks
So-
or any Montgomery citizen.
Well, now
It
you
won't.
do know there are whites who committing crime in Montgomery too.
Oh, that's what I said. But when I talked about non-married, I used
Yeah.
whites and Hispanics also.
Yeah,
I said it happened across city racial lines.
but
But the spending of the money that Mayor Reed wants
Mhm.
is not going to change. You said earlier, people look in the past all the time instead of looking forward. You know what I would like?
Mm.
I do want to look in the past. I want to look at Montgomery when they had 500 police officers in the past. I want to look in the past when the Montgomery sanitation kept the streets clean. I want to look back in the past when we had good health care systems in Montgomery.
let me ask you something. Would you be willing to pay 5% more taxes in the city of Wetumpka or Montgomery to get some? Because it is about money, often about money, and nobody wants to pay more money.
Can I tell you what happened last year? And I've never heard this number before. It amazed me. Elmore County, they had an opportunity. It's called Enhance Elmore.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to raise all these taxes, but they were very nebulous. Where is it going? Well, we might use it on this. We want to use it for that. But they wouldn't put that into concrete legislation. They put that in front of the citizens of Elmore County. And did you know it was voted down 94% to 6%?
Hey, somebody told me to ask you a question, right? Somebody asked you. He said ask Bud.
But you understand, we would have voted for it if we knew where the money was going to help the citizens better. Have you ever heard a tax voted down 94% against?
And again, I hear what you're saying, but somebody said ask Bud if losing the city council elections is the reason why he's trying to destroy the city of Montgomery.
I might have moved out of Montgomery. I'm 62 years old.
Yeah,
I lived 57 years in Montgomery. I love Montgomery County.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it was what it used to be when I graduated Lee High School in '82.
It
was a wonderful. People can bitch about Farmer all they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Farmer was very basic, but what the basic government functions in the city performed excellent.
All right. Hey, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate your contribution. Again, it's what I've been saying. Culture, character equals crime. It does. Doesn't live in Montgomery. Yeah, he doesn't live in Montgomery. But without Montgomery, there's no other place. All these little bitty towns. If Montgomery catches a cold, everybody else around here gets the flu. So Montgomery is still an important part of, no matter where you live. If you live within 30 miles of Montgomery affects, you're talking about for your job and all that, Montgomery affects, because this is still the state capital. So it seems like we've had about 3 say no and 1 say yes. Environment equals crime. Well, we got that right. So is there anybody out there that can call us that is for the thing? Again, I think my haircut analogy was right on time. Every time I get a haircut, I look in the mirror. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. It brightens my day. It brightens my attitude. Something needs to go on different in Montgomery because I tell you, there are too many vestiges. There are too many vestiges of the past around here. Too many things that remind you of what once was. And the best way to get us some of that, of course, is to change our environment. What's up there, Mr. Duke?
Curtis, for Mr. Curmudgeon. Let me address that crap yesterday, Cal. How you doing today, sir?
I ain't on that right now. I'm on this right now. We
You on this right now?
We're on this right now.
I just wanted to clear something up with old boy. Get his facts right.
But let him clear that up later. We talk about.
Hey, what time can I call back? So I'm busy right now, ain't I? But that was dismissed, dog. I'm gonna throw that out to him right now, Cam. Just something to chew on.
Okay.
That case was dismissed because I had all the goods and receipts and all that for the job I did and all that right there, and they threw it out because I finished sue his ass. But
I guess
we can talk about that, Curmudgeon.
We talk about that tomorrow.
He thought he had some dirt on the Duke.
Yeah.
But my mama gave me the name Duke. Damn it, I'm gonna use it continuously until I die. Okay, that's my damn nickname given to me by my mom. So I use Duke on these shows because that's my nickname.
That's your nickname.
Okay?
I appreciate that. That's good. Anyway, so the question on this morning, and here is the question again. Where do you stand? I called the mayor's office, told them to listen what people are saying, and they can get, at least a taste of what some of you are saying along with others. And I will say that the calls are going 80% no. But those are the people just calling me. Are you for the $375 million bond? Hello?
Good morning, Kevin Elkins. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm good. I want to jump right out the gate and say that I am absolutely for the passage of us going up to $375 million on the bond. It's amazing to me how so much information is out there about the bond, but so many people are saying that it's not. One of the very first things that when it was brought up was stated that we're basically going into the bank and completing a credit application. By all accounts, we're creating a credit application for up to $375 million. We have ideas that we want to utilize these fundings for, but we're basically going to get a credit approval. Once the credit is approved for up to $375 million, we know the big ticket item that we want to do is a convention center that is in the range of $200 million. We have left the flexibility in there of basically saying we will not exceed by any account $375 million, but we have left the flexibility in there so that if construction starts on the facility that we've got planned at $199 million and all of a sudden it goes up to $240, then we have left that flexibility in the concept of saying, hey, here are the other things that we plan to do. Here are the ones that are locked in for detail. Here are the other ones that we are leaving. Again, the word there is flexibility in there. And even in that flexibility, they've gone through and provided details about a new police headquarters. They've talked about renovations and additions for community centers. They've mentioned the fact that each of the city councils will have funding left over for them to work with their constituents of their particular districts to work for and allocate. So as someone that's probably been your youngest caller this morning, this is very much what Mr. Durham said. This is an age factor. This is an age factor. And when those who come on and mention that this is a rap center, this is a concert, well, let me speak from a standpoint of a parent whose kids participate in travel sports. It's a gold mine. It's a gold mine is what it is. Montgomery right now cannot accommodate or house travel sports tournaments. And these are travel sports tournaments that typically require a 2 or 3 night stay for events. When we travel for my daughter for travel volleyball, or when we travel for my son. So these are the type of events that also get to come along with a concert. And yes, my wife spent several hundred dollars to go see Chris Brown and Usher in Birmingham.
Really?
But when
You one of them people?
Yeah, she did. She did. And when her and about 3 of her other girlfriends went up, guess what they did, Kev? They got up there in time enough to go and sit down and eat.
Mm-hmm.
They got there in time enough to go and sit down at a locally owned and operated restaurant there in Birmingham, where they spent more money, where that generated more tax and more revenues. And then there's my little cousin who also went up. When her and her girlfriends went up, they knew that they didn't have a job to come back to the next day, so they spent money to stay in a hotel that night. So yeah, this is a big deal. We can talk about renovating the Garrett Coliseum, but the realistic aspects of it, well, if we try and modernize the Coliseum, it still cannot do what a new convention center will do because of the flex space that will be created in the new facility. And there's a lot of things that everybody's mentioning, and I agree with them all. Yes, police headquarters, more things for public safety, roads, paving. How do we pay for these things? How do we pay for these things, Kevin? What the convention center allows us an opportunity to do, it allows us to make an investment into the city of Montgomery that then generates revenue back into the city to help us not only pay the bill for the facility, but take care of the services that the city offers. Now, we want to talk about investments. Look back up at Auburn. That is an Auburn City Schools. Now, this is going to drift me to the school system here in Montgomery. Robert E. Lee was built when? Early 70s? And we're just now doing any major renovations to replace that facility in the new Percy Julian. Prior to the building of Park Crossing, there had not been a new facility built in Montgomery for high school since it was built, since Lee and Jeff Davis were built roughly a few years apart in the 70s. Montgomery has done a horrible job under prior administrations of planning for a future for Montgomery. We have simply allowed things just to go by, and that is the reason why. And I appreciate your other caller bringing up the fact that, hey, Montgomery's the only city that's had a declining population. Well, that may be the case for right now, but I can remember very vividly when we did populations were based on, well, also the tag was a result of the tag. So number one was Birmingham, that used to have 300 plus residents back in the 60s. They don't have 300 plus thousand residents back in the 60s. Birmingham doesn't have that now. Huntsville was once number 4 on the city, and it had a decline in the 90s and early 2000s. It's not there anymore. Same thing with Mobile. So every city, major city that he mentioned in the state has seen a decline in its population, and now those cities have done whatever they've needed to do. Reinvestment in those cities has begun to turn those cities around. All of those cities he mentions have made major reinvestments. We're talking about Protective Stadium and the BJCC downtown for Birmingham. Mr. Durham mentioned what they're doing for the Braun Center in Huntsville. These things go on and on. We've done the comparisons to Mobile. Montgomery's last on the table again, and yet we still don't even want to be last. So again, my vote is for this, absolutely. I look forward to the day that the council passes this and gets ready to move forward with this so we can have those conversations.
Okay. Hey, appreciate it. Listen, you made a good argument to me. Again, now we're up to about 50-50. We up to about a 50-50 chance here. Well, 75-50. Yes, Don.
So deja vu all over again. Remember Whitewater Willie told us about all the people he was going to bring and all the hotels? You know, Bud got his numbers wrong. It was over $100 million. And not that we're having to pay the bond off right now. It would cost him $2 million a year to feed the thing, to keep the doors open for the 9 people. I think he pumped those up. I don't think there's 9 people a day. And then Whitewater Willie said it's a generational thing. Yeah, I want the generation that's spending $200,000 in loans to get a fine arts degree tell me how we should spend our money. I went to I think it was Saturday. I went to Burger King about 7:15. I was gonna get a quick croissant, and I go up there, and there poor one white woman there, all by herself because nobody else showed up to work. But I want those people to tell me we should borrow $375 million for a rap center. As far as the city didn't vote for the thing, they voted that they would give $250,000 a year for 5 years for the upkeep of the Whitewater scam. You know, it's ridiculous. But Whitewater Willie keeps using the same old crud. It's going to bring this. It's going to bring that. Show me Whitewater Willie. Let's go for a ride. Show me the hotels and restaurants on Boulevard. Plus, Maxwell was going to move. We were going to lose Maxwell if we didn't do the Whitewater, right?
We're listening to you. We're listening to you.
I guess we were going. I guess there was 9 people a day coming from Maxwell. It's all garbage.
All righty then. Well, I have got to take a break for about 3 minutes, and we'll be back. 3-minute break. How do you spell a minute? M-I-N-U. I don't. That doesn't look like. Break. But I guess that's what it is. B-R-E-A-K. Yeah, I got to go get a glass of milk because listening to Don makes me thirsty. Don, when he says things, I have to be intellectually honest here. Most of the things he say, it's true. However, he's such a butthole at saying them. Okay, and you lose people when you got to be nasty about it. Calling a rap center, you know, that is a slanderous term coming from him. Of course, now some of the rap folks make a whole lot of money, not for me, but for the younger generation. You know, we are the old guard, and at some point, the old guard's gonna be gone, and that's gonna leave it to the new guard. You remember when we were the new guard, where we were the 17-year-olds, the 18-year-olds, you know, you remember when we were the young soldiers, you know, 18, 19 years old, joining our eyes all wide and looking to take the world on. That's not us anymore. You know, we and to tell you the honest to God truth, just like war, a bunch of old men's dreams. We cannot dream for the younger generation. They have to do that. Okay. Now, again, we must use the wisdom of the older folks and what we learn and what we have learned from Whitewater. I'm gonna hope we use it. And I think then if this thing passes, there needs to be a clause in it. This is the price. We will not accept overruns. We will not accept costs. The price went up. Sorry about that. That's on you. If we get a contract for it, this is what it costs. We will not pay more. Okay. Because Whitewater certainly went way up. Okay. And to not be, and would have been all right, would have been okay if we could figure out a way to market it to the people in the city of Montgomery. We have not. We have not. What we need is a water park. We don't need whitewater rafting. We need a water park where kids on hot days like it is now next summer, you know, they can get out there, man, and just have a great time. Yeah, I'm not getting in a canoe or whatever that thing they put in the water, kayak or whatever it is. I'm not getting one of them things either. I may take a shot. I may take a shot and get in one of them tire tubes. You know, that's about it. We need good marketing. Don, we done with you for the day, my friend. Yeah, go ahead.
Simpler Day, second call. Just wanted to follow up on two of the previous callers, First Sergeant, and the First Sergeant said that kids need something more modern to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I wish he would have heard what Alabama's basketball coach, Nate Oates, said. The fans were complaining about Coleman Coliseum, about how old it is. It's the oldest Coliseum in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a barn. It's got dark spots in it. And everybody else, Auburn, Kentucky, Arkansas, Ole Miss, they all got brand new basketball arenas. But when they asked Nate Oates, Coach, where do you want the money to go? You know what he said?
Mm.
The kids want the money in their pockets. They don't care what the building looks like. They want the money in their pockets. So instead of building a new basketball arena, they're going to make do so they can pay these kids money. And he deals with these kids every day, recruiting them, going into their houses. And he said, we need the money for NIL rather than an arena.
However, I would only find one thing wrong with his priority. Money comes and goes, and will it may enhance the individuals, but it won't enhance the culture. And
well, he gets paid millions of dollars,
right,
to win,
which is crazy. Okay.
Which is crazy. But anyway, he's paid to win, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to put the money what's going to give him the best opportunity to win, just like these. And look at City Hall, Mayor. You go down there. How old is that building? Hank Williams played in that building, and what did they do? They spent money and refurbished the building, and now you can have city council meetings. Everybody's got plenty of room,
right?
But they didn't tear it down and build another one.
Well, that's true.
And why are the people leaving Montgomery and going to Wetumpka, Prattville? Is it because they've got a $350 million civic center? No, they're not. They're leaving for what Bud said: safety and better schools. And once they get that through their heads, you can build all this stuff. And just like we were promised, Doug Singleton said, "Oh, they're going to come from all over the world. You wouldn't even be able to get in out there." And what happened? 9 people a day. What happened when they said that Todd said they were?
But don't people have a right to miscalculate? I mean, we all have in our lives. And again, the idea is a great idea. I still agree with the idea. Unfortunately, the logistics and the makeup of Montgomery won't support it. But smart people learn from their mistakes, but right.
really smart people learn from other people's. All you have to go to is Jefferson County that went bankrupt.
But they went back. I thought that had to do with water. I thought that had something to do with the water department.
It did. Jefferson County owned the water system, and it went bankrupt, and law enforcement officers and other people had to lose their jobs and leave because they couldn't pay them. But all I'm saying is that if this was the draw to Montgomery that we're being told it would be.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, I will say, you have to. What's the old cliche? Not too much is given, much is required. They got something about in order to move forward, you got to put one foot in front of the other.
Well, in closing, just what Bud said was about Elmore County voting, and they voted down. That's the reason they wouldn't put the water park to the people to vote. That's the reason they're not going to put this to the people to vote, because they know what could possibly happen. And that goes against their plan. Have a good day, Mayor.
All righty then. Well, I got to... man, didn't I just get done talking to you?
No, I was trying to respond to a boy yesterday. He told me you was talking about something else today.
Yeah,
so
and I'm still talking about
I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about that. I'm not even to worry about him. Kid, he ain't talking about nothing. No, man.
Yeah,
I want to respond to Simple Days talking about the University of Alabama up there acting up on the old gym, but they invested money in the football stadium, Calvin. I'm talking about they renovated that damn thing. I'm talking about putting millions and millions and millions into the football stadium.
That's because they had millions and millions and millions to do it with.
They got it anyway. These fans buy season tickets, man. Exactly. You know these rich folks got. Exactly. And they fill those stands up every year, whether win or lose.
Right.
They're going to fill those stands up at Auburn, Alabama, every weekend. So they make the money. They got the money.
We ain't got a football team in Montgomery.
But for all the around the city got a convention center. Montgomery stuck with them at the Gary Coliseum. And like I told you, I went to see Anthony Hamilton at the fair last year. They put us in a hot ass gym, Kevin. Okay, the sound system was screwed up. Okay, all that good stuff.
Well, I've talked to the people who are running the Coliseum the other day, and they put a new sound system in there, new trombotrons in there, and all that stuff.
It's still hot as hell. It started hot as hell and outdated. Then the next week they may have some sound up in there.
No. They put in a new cooling system in there. $6 million worth. So they.
But what I'm saying now, we need that convention center. You know, we need it. But people get what they want. Okay, Best Buy can shut down and leave an empty building. All these empty buildings down the bypass out there by Home Depot. All these empty buildings, Copeland's and all that. All these people take up and go out to East Chase. Then crime get a little bad out there. They gonna move another spot. So people got money to build buildings all the time in the city of Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the baseball stadium, hell, it's so packed full of people. I see them all on the TV on when they highlight. They pull the camera back there once in a while accidentally. Shit, you can lay down where you want to lay down.
Again, Montgomery.
But my point is though, they didn't guess. They just second guessed the Biscuit Stadium. Kevin, we didn't have this discussion before. Nobody second guessed the Biscuit Stadium when it came up. They didn't have to get approved by the citizens. Did you vote on it, Kevin?
Well, I haven't voted on it yet. No.
I'm talking about, did you vote on during the time
well, I don't think they voted on it. No, I don't think
the Biscuit Stadium.
Right. But it was a good move. It was a good move. I mean, people like baseball around here. I mean, people I don't like baseball. Yeah, I think it's boring.
That's what I'm saying, but we weren't allowed to vote on it. All these experts nowadays that wants to make decisions saying that the citizens need to vote on this convention center.
Do you believe the majority is not always right?
No, yeah, they most time they're wrong because they
So why let the majority vote on something that they're probably gonna be wrong on?
You don't need to let the people vote on it anyway, because hell, they don't know what they would need. People don't know what hell they need. They know what they need, Calvin.
And people who don't know what they need, those are the ones who want to vote on things. I ain't mad at them. Anyway, gotta take my 3-minute break. We'll be back. I gotta get me some. I gotta go get me a cup of milk right quick. Cause anyway, so discussion on the table this morning. Tell me your answer? Do we need the? What do you think about the $3 million bond issue that the mayor wants to passed by the city council? Again, there's a statement that I make all the time that is absolutely true. We don't know what we don't know. Okay, that's what we don't know. I'll take one more call. One more call for my 3-minute break. What's up?
Hello,
Yes.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you're a builder, but you're a technology person, right? You're
Mhm.
knowledgeable.
Mhm.
All right, now, if you're going to have a center like that, what about the technology, the wiring, the physical wiring of all the different technology modems that you would have to bring into the building?
Oh, you talking about
Computer.
You talking about the
Robotics,
yeah.
whatever convention you have, you got to have the technology
Yeah.
to meet up with all the people's computers when they bring them. The Wi-Fi system. If you have a robotics like Maxwell coming in, and they need to have access with their security clearance, internet system that is very secure. If they're doing a conference, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So now, are you going to be able to do that at Garrett Coliseum without spending a whole lot of money?
Again,
Doing the wiring in there,
yeah,
doing
then
the
that's the
rooms
question.
that you need,
That-
doing the security that you got to build for the technology,
well,
and put in the air conditioning system. Remember, they did a study how much it would cost when the state was going to sell the building for $1,
mhm.
and they went through that process of what all amount of money it would take to do that building over and bring it up to a
But the code-
technology
yeah.
planted building.
Yeah.
You remember that, don't you?
Yeah, yeah,
See, some
and
people,
again-
I know they old
And
and
again,
they
I
don't understand.
often wondered about that too with the Garrett Coliseum. Now,
Remember they talked about the air conditioning when Mr. Jim Wright and them was thinking about that as a part of the city doing that. When Miss Kay Ivey had the building, she was going to what? Either donate or sell it for $1 and let them do that. Remember they went through that whole process
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
did an evaluation. Some of us have, I know, I'm 70, but some folks really ought to act like they can remember stuff in Montgomery when they go to meetings. Like I said, I don't remember seeing all these folks that I'm hearing you talking to in the meeting, not on my film. I don't remember hearing them people you talking to. I see them in the building at the county commission.
Now, one of the disadvantages,
city
right?
council,
One
or at the chamber,
one of the disadvantages,
or at the incubator center.
right?
I don't remember seeing them at those meetings.
One of the
But they
disadvantages,
got so much to say now.
I hear one of the disadvantages of leaving this decision to younger people is that they don't have a reference.
No, younger people
point.
are not. Listen what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Old people don't understand what it's gonna cost to do that building. Y'all talk like you got to actually have a person that has some sense, common sense about money. Like, hey, just like your ballroom up there. How did it start out with one figure? It ended up being a what?
Yeah. Well,
It's another figure now, and every day it's adding up to a different figure. So it needs somebody with some young man. I know somebody got to be young minds mean they 60. They can be 70, but some of your 70-year-olds too old to even say good now. And I'm 70.
Okay.
And I'm
then.
playing they dance yet. But you have a great day.
All right then. Okay. Listen, I take 3-minute break. We'll be back. Uno momento. I gotta get me. I'm glad I don't drink, because if I did drink, I'd get drunk right now. So, environment equals crime. Often it does. But you guys hang loose, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. You gotta have some milk. A lot of milk. A lot of milk. Hey, Bud, I'll be in with Tumpka sometime this morning. I got a job over there, so I'll wave at you on the way back. Be right back. Right after this 3-minute break. Hang loose. And don't forget, do not forget. Sometimes I be forgetting this. The sponsor of our show, of course, is One Stop Wireless, Fuel Street and more, located at their mobile phone store. They sell mobile phones and all kinds of things like that. And you get a phone for free. If they still got some, they still have some. You get a phone for free down there. Let me turn it down a little bit. Okay, then. Now, anyway, they're located at 3445 Atlanta Highway on Montgomery, Alabama. That's right on the corner of Atlanta Highway and Coliseum Boulevard. Here's the number, 320-2988. If you have an old cell phone hanging around the house, they can take that cell phone, get it to working for you. Since you already paid for the phone anyway, I don't care who it came from, Verizon, Sprint, whoever, they can get that phone working for you. Put you on their system. If you don't pay the guy for the phone, that's up to you. But we can get it working. Okay, they can do that. I've done a couple of them that way. I thought stuck it to me. Anyway, so give those guys a call. They got Apple. They got Google phones. They got Samsung phones. They got all kinds of phones down there. So you'll be pleasantly surprised when you go in there. And let's face it, always do business with local people if you can. These are local people. They know exactly what they're doing. They treat you right. I took the phone all the way to Indiana with me, and I'm headed to South Bend, and my phone's still working. All the way from a little town place called Montgomery, Alabama. I'm going down the freeway looking at all these windmills in the sky. What in the world? My home don't look the same as it used to look. Maybe I don't remember what it looked like. But anyway, I took the phone all the way across country with me, 740 miles, and I was still able to talk. Okay, so it took me 2 days to get there because I don't drive very long. but I still got there. I kind of miss South Bend. I'm gonna introduce one of our great alumnus here, one of our great pastors here, Catholic people here, went to Notre Dame. At the same time, I was at home living in South Bend. I didn't know he was out there though. He was just a kid too, like me. Father Emmanuel from Resurrection Catholic Church went to the Notre Dame University. I went there a bunch of times. I didn't say I was a student. I just went. I walked past it going to high school every day, so I had to kind of like, look at that great place. I was there when they built Touchdown Jesus. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, call One Stop Wireless. Okay. Your phone company that you need to know about, 320-2988, located at the corner of Atlanta Highway as well and Coliseum Boulevard, right there next to the gas station. These are great people. They are the salt of the earth people. Really good people that willing to do business with. So how about go and see them? Let them know, because I need to figure out how to make a living doing this. Okay, and my advertisers are wanting me to produce results for them. So if you don't need them right now, at least call them and tell them that you heard about it on the show. That way they'll know that I'm talking about them. Okay, just call them, 320-2988. Just tell them you heard about them, and I'm doing my best to get you guys to come down there. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Just help me out here. Okay, just help a brother out. That's all. All right, got one more sponsor before I leave, and my next sponsor, of course, is Montgomery Computer Services. You got a computer, and that computer's not doing for you what it used to do. It's gotten slow. You put Windows 11 on it, thought you was going to be slick, and didn't have to do it, and you're not slick enough. It's time for a new computer. Okay? If your computer's 7 years old or older, yeah, it's probably time to change it. Okay, 7 years old as a child is young. 7-year-old as a computer, that's real old. That's like 18 years old. I'm just trying to tell you, get it done. Get a new computer. If you got a network or anything like that you need somebody to come look at, your server's not working well, or things of that nature, these guys can help you out. It's too late to call people once your computer is gone. Once you hear that hard drive scraping go, yeah, it's too late. It's too late. back your data up. If I can tell you one thing in this business that people won't do when it's so simple, back up your data. Because sometimes when it's gone, it's gone. Ain't no getting it back. And if they did try to get it back, it's gonna cost you $3,000 or $4,000 to get somebody to go in there and try to get your data back. Especially if you got data on there for 10, 15, 20 years, yeah, you need to back that data up. And don't forget, old programs are probably not going to work on a new operating system. So if you've been working on the same program for 15 years, you might want to get an update. Yeah, but at some point, your computer's going to go. Kind of like you, we're all going to go. So upgrade your computer. Okay, upgrade, and these guys can do it. But if you got network problems, Tyler Stewart, Mason are down there, and Crystal, they can handle any business you want. And if you're a homeowner and you don't want to take your computer up, well, they use me to go to people's homes to help them out with their computer problems. So that's one of the things I do when I'm not being a radio personality. Yeah, I'm out there in the street, baby, trying to make it dollar holler, working on their computers and your technology. Okay, that's what I do for a job, kind of like a part-time job, not a real job, but I like meeting people. All right, so give these guys a call, 277-6902, 277-6902. By the time you need them, it's probably too late. So you need, and let them come by, look at your network, look at your computer, look at what you have, take inventory of what you have, and tell you what you ought to replace now before it's too late. Okay? The morning you come in and your computer ain't working, it's probably too late to do anything about it. But most of the time they can rejuvenate it, hopefully get your data off of it. But again, you got a computer 7 years old or older, time to trade. Time to move on, brother. Time to move on. Most of them don't drive cars 7 years old. Although by the time I get rid of this one, it's probably be like 17 years old. Yeah, good morning to you. The numbers here, of course, are 521-2963. Give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. Whatever on your mind this morning. 8:53 in the morning. If you got something to say, we're talking about the mayor's $375 million bond he wants to borrow from the bond market. I see you guys have a diversity of opinions this morning. Some of them make sense, some not so much, but it is your opinion. And I had the mayor people kind of looking in this morning, trying to, see what was on their mind. I will say one thing. Willie is right about one thing. One of the hardest people to bring to a new idea is old folks. Yeah, one of the hardest. Now, I'm an old folk, but I don't mind changing around because I've seen technology. I've seen it work well, even when I thought it wouldn't. So I'm willing to take the shot at it personally. Because I'm not that old yet. I'm getting there. But for some reason, older people are the people that finds it most difficult to change the way they do things. And I hear you, but you're not going to get new ideas with old thinking. We need some new thinking. Okay, kind of like on the city thing, this whatever this thing we call it, the election. Yeah, they need my ideas. Even though I'm old, I think young. Listen, nothing quite like Sprite. I'm just telling you, good drink, and no sugar. It's the only drink I like with no sugar in it. Okay. And anyway, good morning to you. What are the lessons of life today? Now this right here, I'm gonna do this before I leave, because this is something from George Washington Carver, who said. Now I want you guys to hear this, okay? Okay, that's enough. Turn that off. Okay, that's enough of that. Today's lesson of life is a very simple one, and a one that if you listen to it, if you read it, if you continue to cogitate on it, you will find that it is well worth your moments of recollection. Okay, and again, it is such a true thing. Uh, it must be shared. Okay, it must be shared. And don't forget, we do have a election on the 1st of September with the people running, and which I am a candidate, a candidate for consideration. And of course, I'm probably the smartest. I'm the oldest, which makes me not necessarily the smartest, but the most wise. The most wise. So, what's the lesson of life today? How far we go in life depends on you being tender with the young, compassionate with the aged, sympathetic with the striving, tolerant with the weak and strong. And that right there is probably one of the most important things out of this saying this morning. Because someday in your life, you will have been all of these. But the weak, you see what he said, to be tolerant with the weak and strong. Just because you're strong and you have plenty of money, yeah, they're wrong. They're wrong often, but because they think that they're, but that's okay. That's okay. It is our job to be tolerant of the weak as well as the strong, because the strong don't know it, but they can be wrong. Okay, I'm just telling you, I'm just telling you that. Okay, that's right. He invented. Okay, well, he didn't invent the peanut. He invented what we do with the peanut. Okay, God invented the peanut. So let's not give George Washington Carver too much credit now for inventing, because I don't think no man has ever invented a plant. Okay, he may have messed with the plants, but I don't think he, Now I ain't too crazy. I'm not too crazy about peanuts. But I do like me some peanut butter Jif, some Jiffy peanut butter. Yeah, the creamy one. And then I like the one with the peanuts in it too. Yeah. I gave my grandchild a sandwich. He said, "Dad," he said, "Granddad," I said, "What?" He said, I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I said, "Right on. I got peanut butter and jelly in there." So I gave him some peanut butter with the nuts in them. And he looked at me. He looked at the sandwich. He looked at the sandwich, and he looked at me. He said, "I don't eat this." I said, "Didn't you say you wanted peanut butter and jelly?" Okay. Oh, well. Carver had the right message. That's why they buried it and pushed others, whatever that means. Anyway, so good morning to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. A lot of things happen. Now here's something that I wrote down last night, and I don't have time to get to it right now. But can somebody explain to me why we got so many people who work for the Department of Correction that end up in jail? I've never seen. I mean, almost half of the people in prison now were once a prison guard. What's up with that? I mean, I realize it's a stressful job. Oh, there's a council meeting today. Yeah, there is. Okay, but there won't be work. I don't think there'll be. Jen Wright asked them to put it off until October, so we won't be having the $375,000 question today. I don't believe we will, but I'll check in and let you know. But anyway, so again, why are so many people who work for the Department of Corrections ending up in jail? Are the convicts threatening these people's families or something? I've never seen such a thing because I've only lived in this state, for a number of years. But why is that? Do we not pay our people enough money? They got to make money on the side with the prisoners. My Lord, you're going out to a prison and you're a prison guard. Don't you know they got cameras? They got all kinds of things out there that are watching you while you watching them. My Lord, every day almost some prison guy, okay, it's going to jail for being not only is he going to be he must evidently like the environment, because now he's going to get a good taste of it. Okay. The grievance city is full of government employees, and most are I can't say. Come on, Greg. You don't. There's no way in the world you know that. Really? So you think most of our city employees are I can't go along with that. I can't go along with that. No. The easiest thing for people to say, and then I'm going to be gone. The easiest word to come out of people's mouth is no. While sometimes no is appropriate, but sometimes it isn't. Are there a group of people in Montgomery who don't want Montgomery to prosper? Is there another group of people who don't care if we fail? Interesting questions. We can talk about it another day. Okay. Well, nice to see you guys having conversation with one another. Okay. But there's one thing for sure. Montgomery is not going to prosper. We're not going to prosper if we don't do something. If we don't get something straight, something right. The Whitewater Park thing, I still say it was a great idea. But next time you got to figure out who lives in your city. Okay. I know some of you people who live out there, you got boats to go to Lake Martin and all that stuff. The average citizen don't have a boat going to Lake Martin. We look at water differently. Okay. I love smelling it, but you're looking at a guy who left Honolulu because I got tired of looking at water. I was on a boat unit for the Army, out there in the ocean. And all I could think about was drowning every night. I said, if this boat go down, I'm gone. If you ever look up Ford Island, Hawaii, the Fifth Trans Company, that's the company I was in. It's a boat unit for the Army, because the only way to get around in the islands most of the time is by boat. So I said, okay, we're not going to fly over there unless you're Oprah Winfrey or some of them other people, who get to fly to Maui and things of that nature. I went to Kualave, the Big Island, Maui, and a couple other Kualave. I went all over them islands in the boat. Yeah, thought I was going to die most nights though, because I got sick as a dog. I got sick as a dog on that ship. Woo! Anyway, I got to go, but it was nice holding the conversation with you guys this morning. So right now, I think that there's got to be a lot of work done to convince people that. Now, I will tell you, initially, I was a no, because I thought you pay off one bill before you get another one. But when I look around Montgomery, and everybody but Montgomery is able to get extra money in their coffers, even Millbrook's getting extra money now by putting up a toll road. Okay? So how do we prosper if we don't invest? And I think people need a different vision. We need to walk out our doors and look at a bright city, a city that is innovative, intuitive, a city that looks like it wants to move forward. Now, I personally had mentioned the Garrett Coliseum, but I think the money that it is going to take to restructure it is probably going to be more than help building that. Now, and as a matter of fact, we already got the building. I think the old advertiser building, the mayor wants to move that one and do things with it and stuff like that, which I think we got a building. I think we spent $25 million on that building. So we'll see. But I do know one thing. Albert Einstein said this, and I'll leave you with these words of wisdom, what Albert Einstein said. He said, if you keep doing the things that you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always done. Is it time to change the paradigm? Yes. Is money the answer? Not totally. but this is America. And it does take money to do just about anything in this great country of ours. You can't do it by thinking. You can't do it by wishing. It takes money. It just does. How many of us have bought new cars when we really couldn't afford it, but we bought them anyway? Once we got it, we figured out how to deal with it. Maybe Montgomery needs a new car. New showcase. I don't know. We talked about it. Have a great day, everybody. Remember, it isn't the falling down that gives you the strength. It is getting up each and every time we do. So the word of the day is keep getting up. You can fall down. Just don't stay down. Good morning to you. Have a great day. I got to go to work now. Okay, this has been kind of like work, but not really. This is fun. We'll see.
Your faith, a beacon in the sky. Every trial with lessons wrapped tight. In every shadow, you are my light. Thank you, Lord, for the light. I hear your call. With grateful songs, I rise above all. Through storms that rage and skies of blue.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold, wait, I can't get up. Somebody said I attributed something to the wrong scholar. And who? That was not Einstein who said that. Who is it? Come on, Joe. Tell me who it is. Who is it? It's one that's Einstein. I know it wasn't Maslow. So who was it? If you keep, well, it's actually it is the insanity. It is the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing you always done and expect different results. I think that's who said that. But I'll check it out and see. Good night, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Look life behind you.
And the paths we make in this symphony of light, I find my place. Thankful forever for your endless
And good morning, Colonel Francis. See you later.